All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about Gene Hackman. Who was Mr. Hackman? Who did he call before his death? What was he? Who was he? Was he a spy? I mean, there's new videos coming out. So let's watch a little bit of this and see what really happened. I've seen a video earlier, and they said before he passed, he called the killer. No. Was he a professional hitman? Was he numerous things we don't know because there's new stuff coming out all the time. So let's check this out real quick. See who exactly he was. The video we're going to watch is Gene Hackman's death finally solved. This is pretty interesting. The link in the
Days later, Gene
chat.
Hackman was dead.
Hello, Miss
Now, the
Debbie.
world is asking,
We're
what did
under
the
attack.
FBI uncover? And did this shocking discovery lead to his untimely demise? The secret raid that nobody was supposed to know about. It all started with an unannounced operation. In the middle of the night, FBI agents quietly descended upon Hackman's sprawling mansion in Santa Fe, New Mexico. There were no sirens, no flashing lights, just a calculated and silent intrusion. For those close to Hackman, this event came as a complete shock. What possible reason could the FBI have for storming the home of a 94-year-old retired actor? But as details began to emerge, one thing became clear. This was no ordinary investigation. Rumors swirled that law enforcement had been watching Hackman's estate for months, maybe even years. Some reports suggested that government agencies had intercepted strange transmissions coming from the property, while others claimed that Hackman himself had tried to contact officials, only to be ignored. What was going on behind those walls, and what exactly had the FBI been looking for? The hidden room, a place that was never meant to be found. Once inside the mansion, agents searched through Hackman's personal belongings, rifling through decades of film memorabilia, scripts, and awards. But they weren't there for Hollywood history. They were looking for something far more disturbing. After hours of scouring the mansion, investigators stumbled upon something that shouldn't have existed. A hidden doorway tucked away behind a bookshelf in one of the back rooms. The entrance was sealed shut, reinforced with iron locks, suggesting that whatever was inside was meant to stay buried. When authorities finally forced their way in, they found something that left them stunned beyond belief. The chilling discovery inside. The room was dark, cold, and eerily untouched. Dust floated in the air, settling on what appeared to be an old wooden desk, covered in stacks of documents. On the far side of the room, a series of photographs lined the walls, images of people no one recognized, some of whom seemed to have vanished decades ago. In the center of the space, there was a metal filing cabinet, its drawers padlocked shut. FBI agents immediately went.
Can you folks hear me talk while the video is playing? Just wondering. Debbie, can you hear me as the video's playing and I'm talking? Can you hear me or no? Anyone? I don't know what's wrong with these people. I think Trump did drop a bomb on all of them. All right, let's continue with the video.
Went to work cutting them open. Inside, they found confidential documents labeled classified, some of which appeared to be government records from the 1970s and 80s. A collection of handwritten letters written by Hackman himself, letters that hinted at a secret he had been trying to expose for years. Detailed maps of underground structures, many of which did not appear to be part of Hackman's property. As agents sifted through the evidence, one discovery stopped them dead in their tracks. At the very bottom of the cabinet, tucked away inside a worn-out manila envelope, they found a single yellow document with a bold stamp across the top. It read, "Eyes only, national security threat." Did Gene...
Someone want to tell me what Gene Hackman is doing with these documentations in his house? That's my question, right? What is Mr.
Hackman know too much?
Which I'm a fan.
Hackman's quiet, reclusive lifestyle suddenly didn't seem so innocent anymore. What could a Hollywood actor have possibly known that was so dangerous that it required an FBI raid to uncover it? As agents continued their search, Another bizarre detail caught their attention. Hidden among the stacks of papers was a small black notebook. Inside, Hackman had written hundreds of pages worth of cryptic notes, sketches, and coded messages. Phrases like, "They are always listening," and "The tunnels connect further than I thought," were scrawled in shaky handwriting, along with dates and coordinates that led to locations outside of New Mexico. It was almost as if
What? It's huge!
I know.
And it matches perfectly.
Hackman had been investigating something far bigger than himself. But
Sorry
what?
about that.
And more importantly, had he gotten too close to the truth? The suspicious timing of his death. As news of the FBI's raid slowly leaked to the public, something even more shocking happened. Just days later, Gene Hackman was reported dead. The official story claimed that he had passed away due to natural causes, but the timing was impossible to ignore. Had the stress of the FBI's investigation pushed the 94-year-old actor over the edge, or had he been silenced? Why the FBI is refusing to comment. Since the discovery, federal agents have remained eerily silent about what exactly they found inside Hackman's mansion. Requests for public records have been denied. Family members who once spoke freely about Hackman's life have suddenly gone quiet, and those who knew him best are refusing to answer questions. What could possibly be so sensitive that it had to be erased from public knowledge? Theories that cannot be ignored. With authorities refusing to release details, the public has been left to speculate. Here are the leading theories about what the FBI found and why it may have led to Hackman's death. 1. The tunnels were part of a covert operation. Some believe Hackman accidentally stumbled upon evidence of a secret government project while exploring the underground structures beneath his home. The old blueprints and maps found in his private files suggest the tunnels extended far beyond his property. 2. Hackman discovered something he
What was
wasn't
he
supposed
doing?
to. The cryptic notes and coded messages in Hackman's black notebook imply he was trying to uncover a hidden truth. Could he have discovered classified information linked to his past? Or was he investigating something from Hollywood's dark history? 3. A cover-up was in motion. The fact that Hackman died so soon after the raid has led many to believe that his passing was not a coincidence. Was he eliminated to ensure he would never speak about what he found? What happens next? Right now, the truth remains buried. The FBI refuses to release the documents they retrieved. Authorities have declined to provide any additional details. And Hackman's death remains one of the most suspicious in Hollywood history. Will we ever know?
You know, that kind of makes sense because they can't, at first they couldn't figure it out. It wasn't carbon monoxide. It wasn't numerous things. The door was left open like it was a message or something. The whole thing, right? Just didn't seem right. Now, is it possible something other than what we know is going on? Maybe, but you would have to explain. Why would he have documentation like that? Uh, Top secret stuff, yada, yada, yada. No, maybe he was tracking somebody. Maybe he did have something on someone. I don't know. But can we really believe any of this? Is my question. Right? I can tell you this much. I was feeling good the past couple days. And then, well, just like everything, it came to an end. So was Mr. Hackman. Days coming to the end, and he knew it, and he started releasing information because I seen a video earlier, and they said that he was on the phone with the killer before he died. He called the killer. Well, who was the killer? Was it someone doing something or communicating? Was it a hot phone? I got a call from a woman the other day through Messenger, and it didn't register, right? Could be secret, top secret. I don't know. It didn't come up on the message. So what does that mean, right? Who knows? I mean, good God Almighty. This is all because I was going to run for president. Yeah, I was going to run for president. Word got out. Next thing you know, everyone wanted to run for president. Like even Calhoun from Chicago got into it. That reminds me, send that madness back to Calhoun. We don't want no malted milks. We don't want none of the madness, right? We don't want it. I got enough madness I'm trying to round up in this little town. But we don't want the Delphi madness either. We don't want that. That ain't our madness. It's just madness on top of madness. We don't want it. But what Mr. Hackman was into, do we really know? Who knows? To be honest, who knows? I can tell you this much. He was a very rich man. He was a very good actor, right? He was good in every movie he did, just about. And what kind of connections did he have? Well, I'll tell you what, him and Clint Eastwood were tight. He did a lot of movies with Eastwood. He was in westerns way back. And he did a lot, and he was Lex Luger, right? Wasn't he Lex Luger in Superman or Batman or whatever it was there? I mean, when you play roles like that, you got to know somebody high up, right? I mean, you're playing Lex Luger. I mean, you just, a normal dude just thinking. I mean, the roles he got, I don't know. We're interested in more of this. They don't know if it was fentanyl. They don't know. Well, if it's this suspicious and they don't know, then it very well might have been that Mr. Hackman was involved in something very top secret, or maybe he had the goods on somebody, or him himself tracked down the most biggest, craziest voodoo magic, evil, all manipulating Illuminati. I mean, we really don't know. But I mean, why has he got this documentation? Huh? Huh? Somebody want to explain to me why he's got that kind of documentation in his house? Huh? 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 No, exactly. Not a zero zilch. Let me see what's going on in my chat. Miss Stubby Fox says, why would they kill a dog? Well, one dog was passed away, but that was because it was in the cage. Now, we don't know if it was a male dog or a female dog. The dog might have been in heat. We're not sure, and they separated the dogs while it was in heat. We don't know if that was some kind of a sign that they didn't get a chance. They let the two dogs out first, maybe, and then who knows? We don't know. But let me read my chat. Don't forget, Gone or Gene Hackman was business partners with Oliver Davis for a long time. He knew Diddy's original story. Oh, P. Wangy Dangy Diddy. That explains everything. It would. It wouldn't shock me at all. It wouldn't shock me. But P. Diddy's baby crap right now. This is higher up. I mean, you don't take out Pal Rider. I mean, well, was he in that? He was the sheriff in that. You just don't take these kind of people out. You got to be way, way up there, way up high. Well, we got Valdez here again. Let's see what's going on with him. Once Hackman was a frequent visitor to Epstein's Island. I have no idea. They haven't released all this stuff. They're like, here, close your eyes. Only when you open your eyes, only look at the letters or the word or the names that haven't been blacked out. Okay, open your eyes. Oh my God, close them. All right. What did you see? I'm blinded. I didn't want to. Was that Mary Poppins on that list? Thought she was dead. Let me see what else is going on in chat. He was working on French Connection 3. I'm not sure he was in French Connection 1, 2, 3. I think they were making a saga out of that. That was about the heroin, right? That was about the heroin and the junk and the drugs. It could have been. It could have been, for all we know. Let's check out a little bit more. Let's see what Hitler's got to say about this whole thing. I mean, I'm not sure what he's got to say, But he's probably really pissed right now. This whole thing with Hackman and Trump and everyone, let's see what he's got to say real quick, because I don't want to piss Hitler off. I mean, he's calling everybody idiots. Let's just see what's going
Und auf was ist los? Woher kommt die Schießerei?
on.
Ich will Ihnen zum Geburtstag gratulieren.
Wenn er sich ohne Befehl entfernt hat, ist das Fahnenflucht. Verrat!
Mein Führer, wir haben noch keine Meldung. Ich spreche gerade mit Koller.
Koller, geben Sie mir Koller. Koller.
Don't get angry.
Sie wissen, dass Berlin unter Artilleriefeuer liegt.
The word tariff is my favorite word in the dictionary. You know, we were the richest relatively from, think of this, from 1870 to 1913. That was our richest because we collected tariffs from foreign countries.
Hören Sie den Beschuss nicht?
There's only one way to beat the tariffs. Tariffs, one of the most beautiful words I've ever heard. In fact, I went around saying it's my favorite word in the dictionary, and I got killed by the fake news media.
Die Russen sollen eine Eisenbahnbrücke über die Oder haben.
We have made a decision. We'll be announcing it very soon, and it'll be 25%, generally speaking, and that'll be on cars and all other things. The European Union's it was formed in order to screw the United States. I mean, look, let's be honest. The European Union was formed in order to screw the United States. That's the purpose of it.
Haben Sie noch Zweifel an einem Befehl? Ich glaube, ganz Europa erobert.
All right, let's get back to Gene Hackman. Let's get back to the Gene Hackman saga.
What truly happened in those last days? Or will this case, like so many before it, disappear into the shadows of history, forever unanswered? One thing is for sure. This story is far from over. What do you think happened? Could Gene Hackman have uncovered something so dangerous that it cost him his life? Drop your theories in the comments below. And remember, some secrets were never meant to be found. Why didn't Gene Hackman's kids check in on him? The mysterious family secrets revealed. A legend left alone. But why? Gene Hackman was one of Hollywood's greatest actors, a man whose presence on screen commanded respect. Yet in his later years, he disappeared from the spotlight, retiring to a quiet life in Santa Fe, New Mexico. But what's most unsettling isn't his retirement. It's the fact that, despite his legendary career and wealth, his own children seemingly never checked in on him. As the world mourned his passing, one question echoed louder than the rest. Why was Gene Hackman left to live out his final days in isolation? Where were his kids, and why didn't they step in? The family that never looked back. Hackman had 3 children: Christopher, Leslie, and Elizabeth Hackman. Unlike their father, they stayed far from Hollywood's limelight, living private lives away from the industry that made their dad a household name. But what's strange is that they were almost never seen publicly with him. Unlike other celebrity families, where children are often spotted supporting their parents at events, the Hackman kids.
So what are you thinking, Miss Debbie Fox? He pissed off his kids and they got rid of him? Here's another thing that I think is it possible someone had. They're saying he called the killer before his death. He did this, he did that. You know, Miss Debbie Fox is saying maybe he pissed off his kids. Maybe, right? Maybe they weren't even his kids, and he actually did the tracking and found out whose kids they were. It's possible, Miss Fox. I want to thank you for bringing that up, because it's possible. What is the other possibilities? The other possibilities is it's possible someone had his phone, and we've seen this in so many cases where these people already have the phone and they're talking back and forth with people, and people actually think they're talking to them people, but it really ain't. It's someone else. So it makes perfect sense to me what we're seeing here. And in my chat, what do I think happened? I think Mr. Hackman got too close to the truth about the people on YouTube and in my chat. Therefore, that he got so close because I hired him. You heard me right. And is there anything you have to say for yourself, Valdez? Dun, dun, dun. That's what I thought. Turn yourself in. Now, as we keep going, don't go nowhere, Miss Fox. I'm saving the best for you. Now, let's continue and see what Mr. Hackman really did find out about my chat.
Kids were virtually absent from their father's later life. Even as his health declined, even as he aged into his 90s, his children never seemed to be around. Why? Was there a falling out that nobody knew about? Did Gene push them away? Or was there something deeper, something buried in the shadows of his past? The shocking lack of contact. By the time Hackman entered his later years, he was living in complete privacy. Unlike many other aging stars, he had no major public support system, no family gatherings, no children by his side. And when his death was announced, his children didn't release any statements. There was no public tribute, no emotional message about losing a father, no stories of cherished memories. It was as if he had already been forgotten long before he passed. Was there a broken relationship? Sources close to Hackman suggest that his family was never truly close. Reports indicate that after his divorce from his first wife, Faye Maltese, in 1986, his relationship with his children began to fade. Did the divorce create a divide that was never repaired? Did Hackman's dedication to his Hollywood career come at the cost of his family bonds? Friends claim that, even before his retirement, Hackman had grown distant from his children. Some say he was simply a private man who didn't like attachments. Others believe there was a rift that no one ever spoke about. If that's the case, the question becomes, who distanced themselves first, Gene or his kids? A man who never looked back. One thing is clear, Hackman didn't seem to chase after relationships. Even as he stepped acting, even as his health declined, he made no effort to reconnect publicly with his children. Some believe that, after spending his life in the spotlight, he simply wanted to be left alone. Others think he harbored regrets.
Gene always said, I don't think about legacy. I just hope people remember me as someone who tried to do good work.
But felt it was too late to fix things. And then there's the more chilling possibility. What if there was something that kept his children away? Did his children know something we didn't? As more details emerged after his passing, some started questioning whether Hackman's children were avoiding him for a reason. Was there something about his life, something about his past, that made them want to keep their distance? Did they uncover something about their father that changed their perception of him? Was there a deep-rooted issue, hidden from the public, that fractured their relationship beyond repair? Or were they simply uninterested in reconnecting, choosing their own paths away from their father's shadow? The truth remains elusive, but one fact is undeniable. Gene Hackman, one of Hollywood's greatest stars, spent his final years alone, and his children? They never came back. A sad Hollywood legacy. Gene Hackman's death marks the end of an era, but it also leaves behind an unsettling truth that even the most successful, the most celebrated, the most talented individuals can find themselves alone in the end. For decades, he gave the world unforgettable performances, and yet, when he needed someone to check in on him, no one was there. The silence from his
All right, I have some questions. This was a very rich man, very powerful man. You're telling me he was at that age where he needed assistance. Now, I'm sure he had aides. I'm sure, not aides, but aides to help him do things like clean the house, do the yard, them kind of aides, not AIDS sickness, right? The guy was 90 something years old. He would have been dead by then if he had AIDS. But I'm talking about aides that help you do things. In politics, they call them aides. Now, my question is, this was a very rich man, a very powerful man. He had money. I'm sure he had people there. How does he not go on? How do they not find him for 2 weeks? But yet we're seeing videos out where they're saying that he was on the phone with the killer before he died. They called him, Gene Hackman called the killer. Now, what kind of crap is that? How can you be dead and be on the phone with the killer? I don't know. How could you call the killer and then end up dead and then not know who the killer is? This whole thing might have been planned by Mr. Hackman. Why? Because he was very intelligent and genius when it comes to certain things. The whole death might have been mystery. All planned, already scripted. People are like, you gotta be kidding. No, I'm not. You would be shocked in some of the things they did. How does he have all this documentation? Is my question. When he's just one of the greatest actors of all time. And that's just it. He's an actor. I mean, not unless, I never seen him on a ballot. I've never seen him in Congress, Senate, sitting there talking. Was he top general of some kind of a secret society? I mean, why would they even put this out? That he has top secret information in a room back in the FBI found a room back there chained in chains and locks and padlocks. Very dark in the corner where no one could find. Behind a mysterious door with a broken hinge that was a bookshelf and no one knew about it till now. Are you kidding me? Come on. I mean, I'm glad what he did find out about the people in my chat. That's right. Mr. Hackman did some work for me, and, well, some of you got a lot of explaining to do. That's what I got to say. And it very well might be that Mr. Hackman was on the whole pitty bitty oil bump, push 'em high, whatever it is, tour. That was Diddy's last tour. Who knows? But I can tell you this much, folks. Some of you had a lot of explaining to do. Exactly. Some of you didn't even. One day I met him and I didn't even recognize it was him. His disguise was so good. I thought I was talking to an 80-year-old woman. No, it was Mr. Hackman. But a lot of you people have a lot of explaining to do, and that would make sense why they took him out if he knew about my chat and the people around here in this town and everything. It could have been he was in a battle with Trump. I'm not sure. Everyone's saying now it could. Trump's a gangster. He could be. We're really not sure. Is anyone really sure? Do any of us really know these people? Not really. Do I know any of these people in my chat? No, not really. But I let them believe I know them because the more they believe, the more then I'll know that they know that I don't know who they are. And that right there is mind boggling to all these people. I learned that from I think it was year 2000. That's a whole nother video, another day. Let me read my chat. Debbie Fox says, does anyone in this chat know you? No, you folks have no idea who I am. I tried to tell you, but you said, no, you're not. And I was like, yes, I am. And you were like, no, you're an idiot. And I was like, tell it to the government. And everyone was like, screw you and your government. And I'm like, don't ever talk about my beloved Mother Green and the ass kicking machine again like that, or we're going to drop bombs on you. And you told me, oh, you're crazy, Kramer. You ain't got no idea, man. You're baking and haking. And I said, watch this. And you were all like, I dare you. And I was like, hey, double dare me. And they're like, double dare. And then I dropped it right on you. Bam. And you were all like, you're a dick, Kramer. Why'd you have to do it? Because you double dared me. Now, let me get back to this Gene Hackman thing. That somehow has gotten blown so far out of proportion. Just like everything else in this world. You folks have lost reality. And reality fell right out of the sky on you. Now let's get back to this video. Let me take this question real quick from my chat. We know some of these characters are just nuts. That's why we watch the soap operas. No, you all played a part so well in this whole charade of madness. The merry-go-round of butt plugs and hand jobs and hot twos were unbelievable, but not on this channel, not on these streets. That's all I got to say. Now let's get back to what we did find. What kind of documentation we did find on all you people on YouTube in Mr. Hackman's private, locked, chained, secret room in the back that no one knew about till now, and we found it. That's right, Miss Debbie. Yes. I was kind of shocked myself what was in his files about you, but we'll get back to that later. Let's finish the rest of this.
His children only deepens the mystery. Were they simply absent, or was there something darker keeping them away? Only they know the real answer, and perhaps we never will. What's the matter with the underground tunnels in Gene Hackman's mansion? Authorities left stunned. A shocking discovery beneath a Hollywood legend's home. For decades, Gene Hackman was known as a legendary actor, a man whose presence on screen commanded respect and admiration. But beneath the foundation of his sprawling New Mexico mansion, something far darker and more mysterious lay hidden. Something even the most die-hard fans could never have expected. When an unexpected estate inspection led to the discovery of a series of underground tunnels, local authorities were called in to investigate. What they found beneath the luxurious estate left them shaken to their core. Layers of dust, eerie silence, and an unsettling energy filled the underground corridors, as if the tunnels had been waiting, undisturbed, for decades. The existence of the tunnels raises a million questions. Who built them? What were they used for? And why was this elaborate subterranean network completely unknown, even to those closest to Hackman? As investigators ventured deeper into the darkness, what they found only added to the mystery. The chilling contents of the tunnels. The first thing officials noticed was the strange arrangement of objects inside the tunnels. Unlike a simple storage space, this underground labyrinth seemed to have a purpose, one that no one could quite put their finger on. Lining the walls were crates upon crates of unknown materials, some marked with cryptic symbols, others seemingly untouched for decades. As they pried open the first few, what they saw made their stomachs turn. Inside, there were stacks of old newspapers and letters, many of them dating back more than 50 years. Some containing ominous warnings and messages that hinted at something being hidden away. A collection of maps and blueprints, detailing routes beneath the mansion, suggesting that the tunnels connected to more than just Hackman's property. Personal belongings that didn't seem to belong to Hackman at all. Old suitcases, worn-out shoes, faded Polaroids of unknown people. Who were they? And why were their items buried beneath his home? Then, as they explored further, they found something that turned their blood ice cold. At the very end of the tunnel, past a heavy iron door that took hours to force open, they entered a small, dimly lit chamber. Inside were chairs arranged in a perfect circle, each facing the center of the room. On the walls, ancient symbols had been carved into the stone, their meaning unknown. Investigators described the atmosphere as suffocating, as if the air itself carried the weight of secrets never meant to be uncovered. One agent reportedly turned pale upon seeing something written on the wall. When asked about it later, they refused to speak on what it said. Was this an escape route, or something more sinister? The first theory investigators entertained was that the tunnel system was built as an escape route, a secret passage meant for safety. This wouldn't be unheard of. Many celebrities, especially those with large estates, have hidden exits built into their properties. But the more they uncovered, the more this theory started to fall apart. If this was just an escape route, why were there rooms with chairs arranged in a formation that resembled some kind of gathering place? Why were there documents and personal effects from people who seemingly had no connection to Hackman? Some speculated that the tunnels could have been used as a hiding place, possibly during wartime or for secret dealings. Others went a step further, suggesting that something much darker had taken place beneath Hackman's home. One thing was clear. This was no ordinary passageway. Hackman's secret life. What did he know? Gene Hackman was a man of...
What did Mr. Hackman know, Debbie Fox? What do any of us know is my question. How did this man have capabilities and accesses to a massive underground bomb shelter that was built back in the, excuse me, Miss Fox, I'm trying to talk right now. Excuse me. Quit it. Now, where were we? Yes, this is serious now. Where did he get this access? Well, the property looked pretty familiar to me, if I remember correctly. It was an old bomb nuclear cell. The house was built on top of it. Eagle's Nest 4, which you also have seen in very many movies. The houses that were replicated from it. Eagle's Nest. You might have seen it in Iron Man with Tony Stark. And that redhead Pepper. Look what kind of trouble you're in now, Iron Man. Well, they've been telling us stay away from them redheads. No, I know. But as we go on, so do the hands of time. What did he know? What, where, who, how? Does anybody know? No. But thank God that I did receive the information from Mr. Hackman about the people trolling and in my chat and been stealing my numbers. I hate when people steal numbers. I can't count past 10, so when they take them from me, I get pretty mad. And all the information that we found out about their secret societies and their madness and witchery and sorcery and sex dolls, torsos. I think you have some explaining to do about that, Ms. Fox. Let's see what Mr. Trump has to say about this whole thing and Hitler, what they think's going on.
We will have Gaza. We're going to take it. We're going to hold it. We're going to cherish it. We're going to get it going eventually where a lot of jobs are going to be created for the people in the Middle East. It's going to be for the people in the Middle East, but I think it could be a diamond. It could be an absolute tremendous asset for the Middle East. And you're going to have peace. It's going to bring peace in the Middle East.
Das sind ja nur 12 Kilometer bis zum Stadtkern. Ist der Russe schon so nah? Was soll das heißen? Sie können Fegelein nicht finden.
What I'd like to see Canada become our 51st state.
Kommende Generation dankbar sein. Ich übernehme für alles die volle Verantwortung.
A lot of people in Canada are liking becoming our beautiful, cherished 51st state. They'll have to pay much lower taxes. They'll have the ultimate security. You know, they don't pay very much for security right now because they rely on us.
Widerstand in den Weg gelegt. Ich hatte gut daran getan.
Oh, we're going to
Well, that's what Mr. Trump and Hitler are think about this whole thing. Let's get back to this whole Hackman thing now, which is very interesting. How could this man have so much power to have secret documentation in his house that was built on a bomb shelter from 1942, where we did film the movie 1942. I mean, this is interesting going back in time. Back in movies where we all seen it, everyone, are you shocked, Johnny? Not at all. I want to thank Mr. Hackman because he left me all of it. What a great man. God bless him. What happened to him. It was all a movie. It's how good Mr. Hackman went. If he was going out, he always said he was going out with his cowboy boots on and in a movie. And this whole thing has been a movie. Let me get back to what I was talking about my chat, the information that Mr. Hackman found out for me. Canada is not for sale. Canada don't know anything right now. It's a whirlwind. The maple leaves are blowing in the wind right now. We don't know. They don't know. But the people, the citizens of America and the citizens of Canada, we love each other. It is our governments that are the idiots, which I'm sure Mr. Hackman in our files that we found will explain all the madness. Now, can we get back to this video, please?
Privacy. Unlike many Hollywood celebrities, he preferred a quiet life away from the spotlight. After retiring from acting, he settled in Santa Fe, New Mexico, a place where he could live peacefully, away from the prying eyes of the media. But this discovery has led many to question just how much he really knew about his own home. Did he stumble upon the tunnels at some point during his ownership? Was he aware of their existence and simply kept it a secret? Or worse, was he using them for something the world was never supposed to find out? Reports from former staff members suggest that Hackman rarely allowed workers near certain areas of the house. Some even claim that strange noises were occasionally heard from beneath the mansion. But these rumors were always brushed off as imagination. Now, those same whispers are beginning to sound like warnings that should have been taken seriously. The authorities' suspicious silence. Perhaps the most chilling part of
No, we have to ask ourselves, what was in the tunnels below his house? What occurred there? What were the noises that these people heard late at night? Well, they didn't hear much. They didn't hear much. But I have to ask myself and question myself, what is it that you was doing in them tunnels? And why? Which is very interesting in itself. Let me go to my chat and ask them. Miss Fox, I want to remind you that I do have documentation on you now. Thank Mr. Hackman for sending me all these documentations before he died. What a great man. And a great actor. Folks, if you've never heard of Gene Hackman, please look up his name in movies. He was a great actor, one of the best. And he will be missed. He will be missed. Right? So now let's go on. Let me see what Miss Fox has to say. Miss Fox, what do you think about all this? Oh, let's ask Valdez too. Valdez, what do you think about all this stuff? What gives with all these secret documentations and tunnels that lead for miles and miles and miles underground? Who, what, where, how? A lot of people don't know we did Batman there, right? The whole thing when he was, the Batman tunnels and the down there, with the Batman under Gotham. I mean, this is planned. I'm sure he'll rise again. I wouldn't doubt if this whole thing was planned. And right now he's working on a movie right now to repair, and it's just unbelievable. He could be going. I never thought of it. Mel Gibson is putting together Risen, or he has risen. The new God movie, Jesus. It very well could be possible. We're not sure yet. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Can you explain to me why this man had a vaulted room that was disguised as a bookcase? Or a bookcase? A bookcase. on his property there with government official locks and chains like Fort Knox. Can somebody explain that to me? Let me go to my chat and see what Miss Debbie Fox is saying. Yes, great actor. His wife, she was a great pianist. She was young. She didn't want to. She didn't want to do. She didn't want to do what? Nah, his wife, the great pianist. I do believe she was. And she was a lot younger than him. Did it get to them all? They're talking maybe one of them offed the other one. Who offed who? They got rid of one and then couldn't survive with the other one, so that she died. But the times of death would be told. The autopsies would have proven what time. Well, did they die fast? Or was it a week before the other one died? Very interesting. This is a movie in itself, and somehow I have a feeling from even the grave, Mr. Hackman is laughing in it. But I do want to thank you, Mr. Hackman, for all the great movies. Not now, Miss Fox. I'm busy. All right, go ahead and ask. They should tell us. They might be huge discoveries down there. No, I can't show that on YouTube or ever, Debbie. Things that we've seen down there and what we thought once was still is. Things no man should have ever seen. That's unbelievable. Maybe the Ark of the Covenant. It's possible, Miss Fox. It's very possible. We really don't know yet until we go in and find out really what was down there, what kind of documentation this is. If this is very top secret, it's very well could be Mr. Hackman was an agent for our beloved government, possibly a professional hitman. It's very possible. But I know that the things that he did find about the people in my chat and YouTube on all these channels that have been attacking me and people that are crazy and nuts will astound all of you. We really don't know what was down there. We do know that the house was purchased. At one time, it was Eagle Nest, one of the Eagle Nests, the place where the president went to get some rest. There were certain numerous Eagle Nests all over America. Prepared to go to DEFCON 5 if we needed to. I do believe we should ask Mr. Trump about this situation, what he thinks would be best for us right now to do for America.
Greenland very badly. You look at the Russian ships, the China ships, they're all over the place. They're, surrounding. Now they have for a long time. That's a lane. But we need that for national security. So I don't know that Denmark has any right, title, and interest, and we're going to find that. But I can tell you, you saw the clips that were released. The people of Greenland would love to become a state of the United States of America. We were greeted with tremendous love and affection and respect. The people would like to be a part of the United States. Now, Denmark maybe doesn't like it, but then we can't be too happy with Denmark, and maybe things have to happen with respect to Denmark having to do with tariffs. Because they have to do this, I think, for the free world. We need that to protect the free world. It's very important and getting more important every year.
Hat die Korruption in unserem Staat möglich gemacht. Ich hätte gut daran getan.
This country is
Nah, we'll leave Mr. Trump and Mr. Hitler to their conversation. Well, folks, will we ever really know what happened? Do we ever really know what happens in anything in the world? No. Why? Because it's too early to tell. Now let's get to my chat before we end this video. Well, if they ain't going to tell us, they screwed them. Well, maybe it could be Mr. Hackman did know too much. Therefore, before I got all the information, he had to go. Therefore, they came for me, but we went ahead and hit first. Millions died, but we had to do what we had to do, Mr. Trump, to protect the information of the great gods of Google. I have no idea who they are. But I also want to let you know, Mr. Trump, that I found some information very disturbing and interesting on one of my women that are in my chat and some other people that I would like to interrogate deeply under highlights. Very warm and hot. I think I'll start with you, Miss Fox. No. I hope. What did you just say? Somebody will leak it. I'm sure no one will ever see the video. I'll be the only one that has possession of it. When I interrogate you in a very hot room under hot lights, about 90-degree weather where you're sweating like a pig, and then I'm going to put the lights on you. Don't worry. It will never be leaked. Let's see what this box has. No, I mean, what's under that house? I can't tell you that right now, Miss Fox. I wish I could. I wish I could. What you folks are looking at is a giant mushroom cloud from a nuclear explosion today. Trump finally went nuke. It's glowing like a ball of fire in the sky. Now, once we find out more about Mr. Hackman, we will be back. Till then, who was this man? And why did he have to go and die? You folks have a great night. I find it interesting that someone would have documentation like that. And the only reason they would have documentation like that is if they were some kind of an agent or a spy, which is very interesting. Very interesting. And as Miss Debbie Fox said, his wife was a pianist from another country. They had higher up government people. Maybe, who knows? As the story goes, so do the hands of time. In America's biggest soap opera, Life. Let me check with my mod saying they do shady things. Yes, they do. And so have you. And we'll talk about that in privacy later. Very interesting, Miss Fox. I would have to say your record holds up to ego and rumors and everything. It's very interesting there in 1973. You did your first heist at the candy store. It's just unbelievable. It goes back that far. I don't think we need to get into any more of this on the internet, Miss Fox. We'll have to handle this behind scenes. Very interesting. Like sands, though, the hourglass, so are the YouTube lives. No, I think I'm going to have a cup of tea. You folks have a great night. God bless. And we'll be creating more stuff here on this channel. And having a good time. And we don't want no bad negative. We don't want no stinky stink. We don't want their smoke. We don't want their madness. God bless all. You have a great night. I might be back. I don't know. I was thinking about a fire, but I don't know. What do you think? No juju. No, we don't want no juju from anybody. This thing is, it'll make you think it's someone else when it ain't. Right? It'll make you think it's someone else and it's not them. This is, I need to take back over my White House, Mr. Trump in Indiana. I know you hired me to do a job. And now I got to do that job. You folks have a good night. God bless.